All right, so I'm back out here today. I'm going to go ahead and finish putting the snorkel on and get everything ready. I've got the rack and everything back on up top primarily, but I'm going to go through the procedure here from what I can see and what the directions say of how this goes. There's still one or two things I'm not 100% sure about, but I think we got it for the most part. So here's the spark arrestor that comes with it. It's going to stick that in there like that. Which incidentally, if you was not running a snorkel, you would probably stick it like that. But since I'm running a snorkel, the guy at HMF said to run that in there like that. Now here's this little gasket. I've tried to put this thing, I've tried to put this thing on here, and it's a pain to do it like that, because it actually would probably seat like right here. But the best thing to do is to just put this in here like that and get this thing, because this is what it's ultimately, this is where it's going to go anyway. And just make sure that that's nice, and just make sure that's nice and in there like that, like so. And then what you're going to get is, this is going to be part of your snorkel, this flange here, and it's got a little piece right there, which I'm not 100% sure about that, but it's what it come with. So it's going to go like that on there, and then I'm just going to plug this thing right up here. And here comes my wife with her perfect timing. And trying to line this thing up is not going to be the easiest either. Here are the bolts that come with it. It is a number 5.
I'm back.
Yep, I know.
Well,
I'm recording.
oh, sorry. Who says that part out?
Can't do it. Anyway, get these started. Let me get my other bolts. It should be in my pocket. I think they're in my pocket. They are in my pocket. All right, so we're gonna get this one started here. Now, you probably could do yourself a favor and put some anti-seize on these, but I don't think it's the problem that you might have with these stock bolts on these stock exhausts, because as a earlier video, I had to cut those off. But nonetheless, if you feel comfortable about putting some anti-seize on here, then go right ahead. I feel like I'll probably take this off anyway, again, periodically. And I'm pretty sure these are stainless steel bolts anyway, so they're not going to be prone to rusting like the other ones. So that's why I'm not really going to go with the anti-seize, however. Alright, I'm just gonna get these torqued up. Again, I'm not sure. I don't think there's any specific torque that this has to be torqued to, but I will say this, on this side here, hopefully you can see that. this lip here needs to be tight enough that this is sealed. If you see this gap here, this cap needs to go all the way back to here, right there, right here somewhere. Hopefully you can see that. About there. I'm sorry, it's just really hard with this GoPro because it's trying to get the angles. That's why I constantly have my phone to make sure everything is going semi-smooth here. So I'm just going to keep tightening this down, and I'm just going to keep going like you would tighten a lug nut, kind of crisscross. And then we'll go back over here. Because also, you know, the idea behind this is it's supposed to be waterproof. I mean, that's the whole idea of this snorkel, is to be, well, you know, not get water in your exhaust. So everything needs to be as tight as possible, and that feels like we're getting there with that, because that's pretty tight. And I'm going to take a quick look here at the sides. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah. See, that's kind of what we want. The cap to be butted up against the silencer piece here. You don't want any gap. But we're going to go ahead and just kind of snug this down a little more, just to be sure. Move my phone. I'm gonna just keep snugging this down a little bit. I don't want to go too far with it. And I think that's pretty tight. This is not going anywhere. I'm pretty confident in this. So I think we can call this done as far as that. And I think that's going to work with that. Now, what else we got here is the snorkel part that is supposed, let's see, not sure if I'm going to pause this and then just come back, or let you come along for the ride. It's fairly simple. Really, it's just a matter of getting that in like that. Oh, that's really, that went up there pretty solid against it. I'm just looking at these directions here, and cap, this one is gonna, looks like be, now I'm actually still owed a another clamp that they're supposed to send me. So for right this second, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this one up. Hopefully you can see that. And again, I'm doing this for the first time, so if I make a mistake, you'll be able to see it and maybe you'll learn from it and don't do what I did. But hopefully this is gonna go smooth. Hopefully. All right, that is pretty solid. It looks like this clamp here is supposed to go like this. Like this, and then I think what the idea is like that, because they're slightly different. There's two different ones. Now I have this one, figure 1. And again, these directions do not exactly, they're not in too much detail. And it looks like this thing probably should be a bit more out this way almost. I'm actually short a clamp because I think that, and actually give another example, figure 5. I guess you could do this a few different ways. Really probably doesn't matter really, as long as you get it connected on here, as long as it doesn't move. And that looks pretty close here. So we're gonna go like this. The joys of only having 2 hands and 0 helpers. That is really, I thought I had a, sorry guys, I know this is taking long, and I may go back and edit some of this so you don't have to sit here and watch all this, but either way, it's probably good that you do see it to be ready, and I'm never going to be able to hold that. I'm gonna have to pause it and let's see, maybe not. Do I have a, yep, I'm gonna have to pause this and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got everything together on the rear and I'm gonna say 1 or 2 things. I had to make some changes. One, that little ring that went behind here, I actually went and took that back out because remember me saying, and there's still some slight, but I had way too much. This was almost not even shut on the bottom, and it just did not seem like this thing was sealed up very good. And when I put this on, it didn't seem like it made a very good seal on the back side of this. So what I did, I took it off. I'm not real sure. I may call and see if it's supposed to be on. it doesn't look like it just looks like, to me, it creates more of a gap because it's metal, and it just did not, I don't know, but this thing's still good and solid without it, and it seems like this cap has covered up better than it was. And I may even take a rubber mallet and tap this to see if it can even go up more. But anyway, I've got everything tightened up. A couple things about the install here, or about the mounting hardware. I did it just like this. I tried to do this on the other side, but that right there got in the way. This is a pain to try to do by yourself. I had to get this big pair of channel locks and my wife, and she had to try to squeeze this and then get all this to put the nuts, the bolt and all on. So I mean, it's you can still probably do it by yourself, but it definitely wasn't. If you had two people, it's much easier. This top clamp, I'm waiting on HMF to send me the clamp. Not real concerned about that. That's really not going anywhere anyway. And so that's all buttoned up there. And so that's kind of what it looks like. It looks like it's a little bit cockeyed a little bit. I guess because this right here isn't exactly coming out maybe flush or level or whatever you want to call it. It does look like it's a little bit this way, so that's going to make this go up a little bit, but it's okay. That's fine. I don't think it's going to make any difference. But just to give a rundown of everything after it is installed. Now I still have to put the tuner on, which I'm going to do that next, and so I'll get started on that video. But as far as the installation of the exhaust itself, it looks like it's done, and so that's going to be nice. And then hopefully I can get this thing fired up today, which we'll hear it hopefully. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the tuner video.